Well, I think this is a big week for us because Northwestern is the one team that I think has, I want to say 8 out of 9 guys back, 7 out of 9 guys back. We all know they got the talent. We all know they played so well last year. They've struggled a little bit. A couple guys maybe have been up and down a little bit, but it's a concerning game because it's a road game against a team that I know what they're like. And they've shown that, you know, beating Michigan the way they did. They played some good games. I don't think they've been as consistent as Chris would like. For whatever reason, I don't know. But these guys, my team is, I think by today, a spirited, good practice that they're ready to rock and roll. And hopefully we'll have a good one tomorrow and then leave.
I know you talked about this the other day at Minnesota a little bit, but with so many road games late in this season, normally that's not ideal. But with this team, has it almost been good that they've been able to kind of get away from everything, have that bonding you talk about?
Yeah, the bonding's been great. You know, I don't want to get away from the people that helped us during that Purdue or Indiana game because they were unbelievable here. But the bonding has been great, and we've always had great crowds over at Northwestern. And especially now when we're playing in a different facility farther out, I hope a lot of Michigan State people get there. But the bonding part of it, although this being bonds any closer together, I don't know what they'd be. I mean, they've been like that almost since the start last year, and so I'm not pleased with that many road games, especially when we got in at 3:30 again. But I am pleased that we do get a chance to bond a little bit more. I could probably have a pool party at my house or something that we could bond if we could stay home. But it's built in when you're on the road because of the hotels, because of the things you do. And so I think in a sick way it's helped us a little.
How does that venue change affect you guys when you haven't really played there?
Yeah, you know, we haven't, but we'll get a shoot around in. You got to look at, there's been a lot of places these guys hadn't played in. You know, Miles and them didn't play in, I don't know if it was Ohio State or Indiana, you know, as freshmen. We didn't make that trip, so you shoot around the day of a game. I think it's going to be a little harder this time because of a 1 o'clock game. We might not be able to shoot early, and there's a concert in there the night before. You know, just some more bizarre things that I think our league's got to really take a look at and do a better job with because it's not normal, but as I'm learning this year more than any year, I'm going to control the things I can control, and the only thing I control is get my team ready to go play and make sure our energy and our focus is in the right spot.
How much are you talking to your team about, you're not playing Northwestern, you're playing yourselves, expectations for you. You just go play your best, don't worry about them. Do you have to?
You know, I do because I think we're at a point where our players kind of believe in themselves a little bit. But like I said, Northwestern is a little different than some of the teams we've played that have had decent records, not great. Because everybody knows they got to back. When we go over personnel today, they know those players already. You know, it's not like some of those teams where they're so new. This team is a veteran crew. I mean, 4 of those 5 starters started last year. 5 of the guys played, 6, 7 of the guys played a lot last year. So, you know, there's a concern. The biggest concern for me is they're a better team than they played. I mean, I think that everybody would agree with that. I don't think that's any secret. And so we got to make sure we're playing good enough to beat their best team, not the one we sometimes see on film, which has been a little more up and down.
How does McIntosh change if they do or don't have him with the shoulder issue the other day? You
know, McIntosh, you know, as I told Cassius a lot of times, and a lot of you guys were around when I tell him that the head dies, the body goes. You know, McIntosh has been a guy that he's had a good year, and at times, you know, Michigan, he scores 25. I think that's what all of us were expecting a little more of this year, and it's been a little bit up and down for him, so they've struggled. I don't know if him in or out would make any difference. If he's playing good, they're a different team than if he's not playing good, whether he's playing or not.
Tom, do you pay any attention to the bracket reveal, mid-season being a 3, anything like that? Or
you know, I really haven't, and I think there'd be years that I'd say it with fork in tongue kind of thing, you know, that I'd want to blast it for it, you know. But it goes back to everything I think I got to do now. I can't worry about that. and it really doesn't matter. You know, you guys that have been around, we've gotten there as a 7 seed, we've gotten there as a 5 seed, we've gotten there as a 3 seed, we've gotten there as a 1 seed. I don't care. I don't care. You know, the only thing I do care about that I feel is every year with a new guy in that position, the rules change. I care about that because I just want to know what the rules of the game are, and then I'll abide by the rules or do what I can do. The other thing that hurt us a little bit, as I said, in our non-conference, Notre Dame, Oakland, hurt us that we didn't play Florida because we had to change for the 2 Big Ten games. I mean, there's things that are so out of my control that I had to do, and nobody wants to hear about it anyway. So, you know what? As I said after the game, just make sure we're in the tournament. That's all I care about.
Tom, there's 3 games left. It's crazy to think there's only 3 games left in the regular season. What is this team trying to accomplish once playoffs?
Well, the 3 games left I think are very important to us because I talked to you guys last week about we haven't reached our ceiling yet. And we haven't reached our ceiling yet. But I think we're trying to get there. And that's what these games are for. Can we get better every game? And that kind of has been the battle cry all year. Can we get better? I'm seeing Jaron now. I've seen Cassius in the last month really take some steps forward. You know, Jaron, we've had him in talking about the fouls, talking about things. That's what should happen on a team. You know, they should learn and get better. We don't want to get better for next year. We want to get better for this year. So the end of the season is all about can we get a little better than we were the last game? Can we learn from some of our mistakes? We went through all 3 games we lost. Why did we lose them? What can we do to improve on those? That was a week ago, and we're trying to do some of those things now.
Did you receive the email from Mark Hollis on Tuesday?
On Tuesday.
It was an email to all.
The good news for me is I can say no and look everybody in the eye and say no, because my computer doesn't work on purpose. So I did not see the email Mark Hollis sent out, so I apologize for that.
You talk about the other night about having a chance this late in the season. Does that mean you'll watch Ohio State Purdue a little bit closer tonight than maybe some other weeks?
You know, it's going to be interesting, as you all remember the story back when Judd was here, those of you that were in junior high school then, and he was talking. Judd always said, you know, I think Purdue played Michigan one year, and if Purdue wins, we tie for the championship. And or if Michigan wins. And the reporter asked him, are you pulling for Michigan? He said, hell no. You know, I mean, I'm not pulling against or for anybody. I mean, I'd be an idiot not to hope that somehow Ohio State loses another game if we can keep winning. But at the same time, that's the problem when destiny's not in your own hands, you know, when you can't. All we can do is what we can do. And I'm really getting comfortable with looking at a lot of things and saying, all I can control is the things I can control. And what we can control is to win a game Saturday. And whoever wins or loses, you know, until the last day, it doesn't matter. Because if somebody loses and then we lose, it doesn't matter. So all I'm going to try to do is control and yet not lie to you that I'm going to look a little closer. I'll definitely look at the final score. I promise you that.
You with the chance to win a title, you touched on that. I mean, there are bigger things that, you know, getting off to that start, the 25-3 start and everything else, but what would a Big Ten title mean for these guys?
Well, you know, I was thinking about you guys being here today, and I was thinking about our practice. And, I mean, this is probably 120 practices, 115 practices in. I don't know exactly. I used to have it on my sheet. Maybe I do. But when you look at it, 198 practices. We're down a little bit. I'm getting soft. But when you look at 100 practices, and there's still the energy and enthusiasm. We weren't as sharp. We were a step off, but it wasn't from lack of energy in that. I think it would mean the world to them. You know, I look at that guy right there, and he had a lot of goals that he wanted to achieve in coming back, and some of those goals, I mean, are at least on the table now. And so you have to ask him what it would mean. But I've told them I don't want them looking ahead. I just want them looking at the next game. And yet when I lay in bed at night, do I dream of a banner going up? You're damn right I do. But I've done that my whole life, you know. And so we're going to just keep working at it. But it's great to be in a position where you have a chance. And that chance might improve after Thursday. It might not. It might improve whenever the other teams play on Saturday, and it might go down if we don't take care of our business on Saturday. So take care of the weekend, see what everybody else does, then move on. It's almost like win in advance, you know. That's what we're going to try to do.
Tom, when you talk about Jared staying on the floor, how much of that is him not hunting shot blocks and going for ball fakes and just playing good position?
You know, Jared doesn't go for a lot of ball fakes. It's the grabbing. Those are the things, or the charges, or you know, that he has struggled with a little bit. And it's just learning, you know, going after a lot of extra block shots, because that's just his nature. Hasn't caused him any foul trouble. What it's caused sometimes is his man getting a rebound and putting it back in.